Hi, I'm here with Brandon Freint, here in Friedensfeld, Manitoba, and Brandon has a unique experience. He started out working in the dairy industry, managing a dairy, and then made the switch to beef about 10 years ago. And Brandon, I wonder if you'd give me a couple of minutes on how you see feeding and how you did feeding in the dairy side and what you brought to the beef side.
Okay. Yeah. So about 12 years ago now, we had purchased some quota at a neighboring dairy farm and managed that for a number of years. Started a dairy operation here. Recently dispersed that and expanded the beef, and got in. We're just in the cow calf before. We're into a bit of backgrounding and yearlings now as well, and doing some custom feeding. So especially on the custom feeding there, when you're doing stuff on per pound of gain per day, feed management becomes quite important. It's a lot more than just slapping something in the bunks there and hoping they'll eat it. There's you don't want to overfeed too much. You don't want to underfeed. You got to work on getting your particle length down to an acceptable spot, and you got to make sure you have a good and accurate mix. That mix that you're dropping in the first 20 feet looks virtually the same as what you're dropping in the last 20 feet. And on the dairy side, there's very very staunch management on that. You can have production swings on a couple liters a day on a herd of cows. That can change substantially how much milk's in the tank. And so from going from the dairy side there with managing our feed like that to the beef side, I think we've made some strides and improvements. Um, as opposed to some other producers who are perhaps, round bale feeders and then filling them up kind of thing, which works too. It's just you got to manage everything, and I think shrink is something that guys maybe don't take as seriously as they should.
Well, that's in the silage side.
That's in the silage side, yeah, you betcha, yeah. Getting your shrink down to, shrink can be as simple as bouncing across your feed yard, spilling feed and corn salad and haylage out of your bucket, or having a face that's heating up and you're losing dry matter all the time, didn't do a proper job packing and siling, whatever, but you got one chance to do that, and that's your feed for the next 12 to 18 months kind of thing. So, yeah,
So how about managing that base? What would you recommend?
yeah. Yeah, a lot more forgiving in the cold months up here when things are real frosty and solid. But even then, it's amazing how if you're not chewing away, we try and maintain take away 6 to 10 inches minimum throughout the whole face a day. So if you got a 60-foot face or you got a 40-foot face, it is really nice to go through there and chew up a bit in the front to keep it as fresh as you can. Defacers or silage shears are a big tool that can help that. It can cut down on time. A guy who's real good with a loader and a grapple there and takes his time. That's the key part. Takes his time, can do a pretty acceptable job. But sometimes when you got an employee on there or somebody helping you out, they just ram in, take a bucket, ram out. Well, that's going to cost you in the end. So where defacers and silage grapples, silage shears there, they'll make it a little more dummy proof, I suppose.
So your cows are on grass. How's the body condition score looking right now?
Yeah, see out they're feed yards generally virtually empty in summer. So they're on grass. Cattle are looking good. We of course try and send them out in relatively decent condition as well, coming onto calving and whatnot, so they can milk up real nice for them calves. But yeah, they'd be sitting at for sure a solid 3, probably closer to a 3.5 right now, and they're milking heavy with the calves pulling a rate.
It's looking good. Any word on the kind of tools you see that guys are using now, and maybe a look ahead
For what's in it for you? Yeah, so something that'll be in it for us, I guess, is we'll be getting close to time to upgrade the old feed wagon here. We've welded about as many sheets in the sidewalls and floors as we can. So something to the feed wagon is such an important investment, I think, to have something like we talked about before, mixing accurately and getting your particle length down to where you want to get it to. So that'll be something we'll be looking at here in the next year or two, especially with taking on some more custom fed cattle. it's one thing doing it for yourself, but then when you start doing it for others, I mean, I guess it depends what kind of person you are, but I often will put a little more energy into that. I'd rather screw it up for myself than for somebody else. So when we got other guys' cattle on the yard, we like to do 110% job. So a feed wagon, we were talking about before about a bale processor with the chopping knives on it. I'd like to do that there. I think we could probably eliminate our. Right now, we bring in a custom tub grinder, and we'll grind up a couple hundred old hay bales and straw bales for mixing there at a time. And I think if we get into a new bale processor with the chopping knives on it there, I think we'd be able to cut our tub grinder bill out, and the feed wagon can take it down a little more if we wanted to on the particle size there. So yeah, so those are two things on kind of the feed management side that, they'll be coming down the pipe here soon enough.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. I've been talking to Brandon, precision feeder for his beef herd. Thanks.
Thank you.